Hi and welcome back to Cheeky Crypto. My name is Nick, and today guys we're going to be jumping back down into the charts for Vechain, taking a look at what's been going on most recently and what I would expect to happen next. As I get into this video, if you find it useful and informative, hit the like button. I really do appreciate that. If you happen to be new to the channel, then why not go ahead and subscribe, tap the bell, select all notifications, and in doing so you will be kept up to date with absolutely everything that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. If you have not yet joined us in Discord, links in the description down below. Fantastic community talking crypto 24/7, and it's completely free, and I don't think you'd be disappointed by what you find down there, so why not go ahead and check it out. Okay guys, let's take a look at Vechain here. So it's been a couple of days since we really looked at Vet here, but you know, for the most part I was actually expecting this to come back down a little bit deeper, and I still think this is actually in play. Let me go through my thoughts here, because this is an interesting market. We've seen Bitcoin move up ever so slightly, and it could hit its targets. We could see Vechain here hit some volatility, but for the most part, I'm not happy. This is not a bullish scenario to be in for Vet, and I'm going to go through why in just a moment. Okay, so yes, there were some gains. Unfortunately, we could have traded on, but I would never have entered a trade so heavily overbought, and it's just followed what Bitcoin was doing, and this puts it in a really dangerous position. So just kind of bear these things in mind. But what we're going to do is we're just going to show you what's going on here. We have our ABC structure just here. We hit this low, actually a little bit shallow because we should have come down deeper, and this was 2.809, okay, 09 just over here. Let me just put that back and grab hold of that one. There we go. And then of course we hit this move here. Now this is the interesting one, because this is the area that it basically was a triangular wedge, to the point where it was looking like an Elliott wave triangle, and I think it still could technically be an Elliott wave triangle with our E wave just coming out of it before coming back down. Or alternatively, we've got another way of looking at it, and that is that we've actually gone up here with a wave 1, down here with a wave 2, and then a wave A, B, and then C. Now these triangles can only appear in wave B's or in wave 4s, right? So we know that if this is an Elliott wave triangle, which it follows the pattern of, then essentially it has to be a wave B. Okay, because it is not a wave 4, meaning that this is a top and we're not going to get a fourth and a fifth wave, and a breakdown is more than likely going to occur. Okay, so knowing this, that gives us a bit of an idea and a bit of an understanding as to that. But however, we could also look at this slightly differently, and we could be looking at it like this, with a giant A, a giant B, and then we move down into our giant C wave. This one I think is more probable. Okay, so if I take this and I run this up here and we move this over to the recent high, we can see that this talks about moving down to 2.582. Okay, so again, an interesting sweet spot just down here. So I will actually go ahead and just mark this down. I'm going to mark it anything actually just on our line here at the 2.809, okay, because that's the 618 area. And we pull back down. It's also a double bottom, so that could be had there before we maybe move on up to our actual target of 3.66. But you'll be thinking, why, if I've got a target of 3.66, are we not just going straight to it? It's simple, really. If we bring up our volume here, you can see we had some volume increasing here, but basically this is a couple of larger orders, but nothing major actually going on. There's actually in the background to this decreased volume if you take those outliers out of the equation. But I'm not really going to be talking about the volume so much as I am going to be talking about the stochastic RSI. If I bring the stochastic RSI up into play here, just make this a little bit bigger, you can see that on the hourly chart we're overbought. And in fact, we've been up here for such a long time, we should have actually been pulling down in a significant way. But with Bitcoin moving up 5%, basically I guess retail investors have just been FOMOing into the green candles. But if we take a look at the 4 hourly, we're overbought. Again, we should be looking at some kind of decrease here, not increase. Take a look at the 8 hour, we're almost completely overbought there. So give this the rest of today, for example, and I think this is then going to reverse down. Okay, so we have that on the 8 hour, the daily. Also very similar picture, a couple days maybe, and that is going to be primed, ready for a drop to the downside. And the weekly is actually oversold, the monthly is oversold as well. So those are okay. It is literally the smaller time frames and the mid time frames that need to change. So when we're taking a look at this, we are thinking that they're going to be coming towards an end of the correction. We know we can't have 5 waves with that triangle in the middle there, so we should be thinking about this as a breakdown from here. Okay, so we've either got that as an ABC structure finishing, and then we're just going to be pulling back down in line with Bitcoin and in line with my Bitcoin video from this morning. Once this correction is in, however, we might see this surge upwards towards 3.66. Now, it is of course possible that we just go up and we just hit 3.66 cent and we are done, and that's also a possibility. It really depends if Bitcoin does go ahead. I just don't think that's probable right now. I think Bitcoin's about to have the rug pulled from its feet, and we're going to see the rest of the market turn red. So we'll watch that space, just see how that plays out. But essentially, that's kind of what I'm thinking. That's kind of what I'm looking at here for Vechain on the shorter time frames. The larger time frames we'll discuss later. Essentially, though, we are still talking about massive collapses down as we move on down towards our lower ranges of 1.77 to 1.8 cent. That hasn't changed. Obviously, we are talking about a pretty significant pullback here for Vechain. At the bottom, definitely has not come in. If we take a look at this on this 8-hourly chart, you can see this continuation pattern here, and basically just going sideways. And once this actually completes, we are going to be moving down in a really significant way, in my opinion. And this is where the maximum amount of value is going to be gained for the next massive swing to the upside. So patience is definitely key, but we are getting somewhere. We are getting some progress, but I still don't think the volatility is over. We still are looking at coming on down lower before moving on up a little bit higher, in my opinion. But let me know what your thoughts and opinions are down in the comments below, guys. I'm going to leave the video there. If you found this useful and informative, hit the like button. I really do appreciate that. If you happen to be new to the channel, then why not go ahead and subscribe, tap the bell, select all notifications, and in doing so you will be kept up to date with absolutely everything that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. With all that said, done and out of the way, I hope everyone has a fantastic day, and I'll catch you all in the next one.